I've been getting comments, people asking me, oh, why are you going back? You should stay back in the Philippines. Philippines is fun and this and that. That's true, Philippines is fun, but then what's in it for me on the long run? I don't know. Maybe if you have a Filipino brother that can marry me. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl Machi, and this is Lifestyle with Machi. If you have not subscribed or you're new here, kindly subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get all my updates whenever it's out there. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reasons why I left the Philippines. If you have been my follower in this channel, you will know my journey while I was living in the Philippines and when I was a student back in the Philippines. So recently I left the Philippines, sadly, and currently I am in my country, Nigeria. So you would wonder why anybody would travel abroad and will still choose to go back to their country, because most time when people leave their country, they tend to try to naturalize over there or get something doing to be helping back home, right? So how is it then that I left the country and I'm going back to my country after graduation? Okay, so sit down, relax, and let's get into it. You might find some of the information I'll be sharing helpful if you intend to go into an Asian country, particularly Philippines, for a study. So let's get started. Yeah, I think education system in the Philippines is really not a stressful one. It's such that if you have a 4-year duration for a program, you have to graduate for the 4-year period. Not like you're going to have any strike or kind of delays like we witness in some African schools back home. So due to this reason, so many of us Africans are actually seizing the opportunity to go over there to Philippines or other Asian countries and then study for the particular year for whichever course they decide to, and then further in their life or pursue any other career or adventure that they wish to go. So it's as if it says that a course is 4 years, it's going to be 4 years. However, in my own case, due to the pandemic period, we encountered a delay. So instead of graduating for the month that I was supposed to graduate, last year being 2021, it was kind of delayed and I had to wait back for some other months. But eventually I graduated October 2021, pharmacy graduate from the Philippines. And yeah, I left the Philippines to come back to my country. Number one reason being that in the Philippines, if you are a foreigner taking up the course pharmacy in the Philippines, especially if you're Nigerian, because sometimes the laws changes depending on the diplomatic relationship your country have with the country Philippines. So for my country Nigeria, as it stands till the time that I left Philippines, which was March this year, upon graduation you're expected to go back to your country if you intend to write your licensing exam, unless you want to further and take up other courses or a masteral course. So for me, I wanted to write my license exam before any other thing, and being foreigner and not having that access to write my board exam in Philippines, it was really hard and sad at the same time, because if we had the access to actually just write the board exam, I wouldn't see a need to have moved back immediately to my country. I could have just done the license and then maybe make some other plans on how to go about it. But because I couldn't write the board exam and staying back there taking any other course without writing the license exam to get a license as a pharmacist is as good as, for me, I'm sorry to say, but it feels useless, because no matter how many years I'm going to be in the country Philippines without a license, even though I have a bachelor's in pharmacy, I still cannot practice, right? So I had to choose whether I was going to stay back in the Philippines and try some other course or go further with my master's, or come back in the country and take my license exam and then see where that leads me. So yeah, it's sad that after graduation you wouldn't be able to write your license exam for the course pharmacy, especially for Nigerians. So I can say for other countries, and I do know that some other departments are able to write their board exams in Philippines even though they're foreigners. So that's topic for another day. So number one reason, I couldn't write my board exam and I needed to write my board exam before any other thing, so I had to leave to do that in Nigeria. Okay, so you also ask, why can't I just put the board exam, register for it, have a visa, valid visa, come back, write it and go back, right? No, Reason is because if I take the board exam in Nigeria, after the board exam, immediately after the board exam, you have to undergo what is known as induction. After induction, you have to start a 1 year internship, 1 whole year internship. You heard right? Okay, it's compulsory. Which after that you write another examination. Okay, let me make sure that before the induction exercise, you have to write an examination that will qualify you to be a part of candidates for the induction process, for the 1 year induction process. So after the first examination, you go for a 1 year internship, and after the 1 year internship, then you have to write a second examination which will qualify you for a permanent license. So you see why I cannot just have, even if I have a valid visa, I can just come back, write the board exam, and go back to Philippines and do whatever I want to do, because I have to complete the 1 year internship. So that's reason number one. So number two is that I cannot get a job in my chosen field of practice. Like I mentioned, number one being that I cannot write the board exam. If I cannot write the board exam in the country, then I cannot get a job to practice as a pharmacist in the country. Ordinarily, as a foreigner, even to get a job in the Philippines legally is not accepted. It's not accepted. You have to go through the process of having a work permit, which a student is not licensed to. So that's the legal process of doing things. So number one, you cannot get the job as a student. Number two, when you graduate, you have to go through the process of work permit. I don't know what the requirements are, but I heard it was very tedious one. So I didn't even have to plan on going to that side of hustle. And then again, if I cannot write the board exam, I would not be able to practice pharmacy, even if I happen to be fortunate enough to get another job in the Philippines that I can be making do of within the time being. And time is going, so I looked at my options and I felt like no, it's sad, I have to go back to my country. Okay, number three reason why I left the Philippines for my country, Nigeria, is that I cannot become a citizen in the Philippines. I can't. Irrespective of how many years that I happen to spend in the Philippines, I can never become a Philippine citizen. I mean, I went there 2017, I left the country 2022. That's like how many years? 5 years. So if it was a country that you stand a chance of being a citizen, I would have been close to becoming one, or in the process of becoming one, you know. But in the Philippines, it doesn't matter if you've been there for 10 years or something. I could never be the citizen of the country. So I can't be a citizen. I can't write my board exam there. I cannot work there legally or practice my profession. I had to go back to my country. So that's the third reason why I left the Philippines. The fourth reason is that I would always have to extend my visa. As a student back then in Philippines, you have to extend your visa yearly. So that means whatever amount your school is getting for your visa processes, you have to pay for that yearly, depending on the number of years that your course is. For me, my course was for 4 years. I had to pay 5 years due to the delay caused by COVID. So imagine that, like 5 times I had to extend my visa for the period that I was in the Philippines. And now, even if I have to stay back in the Philippines for some reasons, I got a job by the side, legal or not, I still have to extend my visa to still be able to be recognized as an alien in the country. If not, I'll have issues with the immigration authority. So for how long was I really going to be extending my visa in a country that I did not stand a chance to be a citizen? I did not stand a chance to write my board exam. I did not stand a chance to practice my profession. So you see, I had to weigh my options, and that's the fourth reason why I left the Philippines to go back to my country, Nigeria. Now, number 5, the fifth and the last reason, but not the least reason, is in the Philippines, being that I can't be a citizen and I always have to extend my visa, I am recognized as an alien. Hence, I cannot even own a property in the country. So let's assume that I happen to be doing something by the side and I'm making money in the Philippines and I'm not back in my country. I still cannot own property there. So fifth reason is that I cannot own property in the Philippines. If I had to own one, I have to use the Filipino's name to be my, shorty guarant or something like that. So that's complicated, because if by any chance you happen to fall out with the person that you were using, like to use the name of the person to identify as an owner for something that you paid for, but because your name is not there, and then there is a complication, you really cannot do much about it. You really cannot. You really did not stand a chance to claim that property. So I cannot own a property. If there are other means of going about this that I'm not like I haven't spoken of in this channel, and you have an idea, or you're a Filipino and you have information, you can put it down in the comment section. But so far, these are the information that I was provided for by my school. Like, it's common for schools to remind you during your orientation time after semesters that you're supposed to graduate and leave the country. So yeah, that's that. And because of those reasons, I just made up my mind, like, Philippines has no future for me. There is nothing for me in the Philippines, irrespective of how much I want to be in the Philippines because of the good things that I stand to benefit. So, I mean, for how long would I be there if I don't have any means of achieving all those things, no matter how many years I spend in the country, no matter how much I love the country, Philippines. So, I had to go back to my country, Nigeria. I had to come back here so that I'll be able to sort some things out and then decide on the next level for me and what my next movement with my life is all about. And based on how much I love the country, Philippines, because I mean, Philippines is good in so many ways, I made sure that I cleared all my dues and whatever that might be serving as a hindrance with immigration authorities, such that anytime I want to go back to the country, I can always go back to the country, be it for any further study or for just visiting. So yeah, I made sure I did that because I do understand that some students, when they are leaving the countries, they don't bother about clearing with immigration because they have no plans of, especially when they've graduated or they want to leave the country for some reasons best known to them, they have no plans of going back, so they don't clear those dues. But I know somehow, someday, if not for some work-related event, maybe for vacation, I see myself going back to the Philippines. Okay, so yeah, that's why I left the Philippines, because I've been getting comments, people asking me, oh, why are you going back? You should stay back in the Philippines. Philippines is fun and this and that. That's true, Philippines is fun, but then what's in it for me on the long run? I don't know. Maybe if you have a Filipino brother that can marry me. Joke clan, just joking, charot, not serious, okay? So yeah, for the moment, I'm in my country, Nigeria, and so far, it's been cool. So stay tuned in this channel where I share more information and event happenings on what it's been like living in Nigeria, what lifestyle in Nigeria is all about. If you want to catch up with all of that and more, subscribe to my channel. Once again, if you've not subscribed, kindly, I'm begging you, subscribe. And thank you to all my subscribers and returning viewers. Yes, I have not forgotten. I've been getting a lot of comments from my viewers asking me what's up with you since you went back to Nigeria. You've not been posting. Can you post more? We enjoy your videos. I'm really like mesmerized, if you ask me, because okay, somebody's following up with me, somebody's actually paying attention. I'm interested in what I'm putting up in this mini space of mine. So thank you to every one of you. And yes, I've been busy with a lot of things. That's why I've not been posting. So subsequent videos, I will share with you what's been going on and happening with me in my life. And for now, it's a bye from me. Do have a wonderful day, have a wonderful time. Signing out is your girl, Lifestyle with Machi. Bye.